And we're live again. Welcome back to the show. This is Hans Kim. Tonight we're talking about mm, Florida. Florida. Really the best state? I mean, it has a high concentrations of Rileys in it, which makes it nice. Um, Florida is great if you like to party or if you have a beautiful body. Yeah, if you like spray tans. If you go to FSU, Florida is the place to be. Hell yeah. The right-handed tomahawk. I can do this. I'm one of you now. Florida is good if you want to go to a college that's also a cult. Yeah, fuck UF. That's like a thing that they hate each other, even though they secretly like each other. They say Florida's good for mom-daughter hookups. Do you have a Florida man story? Well, there's this coke dealer, reformed coke dealer that runs a comedy club that booked me for a comedy show, which is pretty fun. Why do we need Red Band? Is the audio sound bad? But yeah, he was a crazy man and he had like lots of jewelry and my opener for the shows in Florida in New Smyrna Beach was this 19-year-old and we all went to a bar afterwards and the bar bouncer wouldn't let the 19-year-old in and this coke dealer was like, "Don't worry, I got you. Just watch." And then he tried to get him in and he failed. He was like, "Can you let him in?" It's like, "Nah." Yeah. They're all just going around pretending like they own the place and they're trying to use their fucking advantage of occupying physical space in Florida to try to gain power and prestige and sexual favors. Yeah, the feed dropped off and it's back. It was weird. I think it was either the internet or OBS. I have met Ron White. I've had very in-depth conversations with him, and I've grown to respect him more than I already did. And he was a great hero to me, and it's amazing that I get to meet him and talk to him and introduce him on stage. It's so crazy because I do all these Vulcan shows with Joe Rogan, and he uh, he brings out some of the best comedians in the world. So I got to introduce Duncan Trussell, I got to introduce Ron White, I got to introduce Shane Gillis, Mark Normand, Ari Shafir, uh, some of the best comedians, Theo Vaughn. So you could say that I'm privileged. But yeah, I mean, I'm super happy with where I'm at. I'm just trying not to fuck it up. So don't mess with me because it might send me over the edge and then I might lose my job. But yeah, I mean, um, yeah, I did a podcast recently with Dr. Drew Pinsky, Doctor Extraordinaire, and he talked a lot about sexual diseases on the penis and the anus and stuff. And it's just great because like so much of that stuff is so hard to talk about. And it's like everyone wants to keep it quiet, but like he does it publicly, which is very needed because then it's like then people aren't hiding it. Then we all know what genital health looks like by watching the podcast, and we don't have to like expose ourselves to each other, literally and figuratively. Um, I think that it should be coming out in like a couple months, but yeah, a whole bunch of Kill Tony people went and did his podcast. So Dr. Drew, yeah, Dr. Drew After Dark or Doctor whatever. I don't know what the specific name is. I think he only has one podcast, or maybe he has multiple. But yeah, a bunch of us Kill Tony people went on his podcast, so that should be coming out soon. Um, Hans, are you stoned? You look extremely high, but it could just be Asian eyes. These people, they always say the same thing. I just have a really chill energy. I'm just like a really low, I'm really like comfortable and I'm not gonna like yell at you or like blah, go like spaz out and shit. So there's a court case going on. Oh, the Alex Jones court case is going on, which is sort of interesting. Apparently his lawyers accidentally texted the prosecutors all of his text messages on accident. So kind of a boneheaded move. Um, kind of like a mistake, I would think. But I think it's happening right here in Austin, so that's interesting. I've met Alex Jones. He's a very nice man. I think that what happened with Sandy Hook is horrible. Um, and it's horrible if people lost their children and then people are accusing them of being fake. Obviously, that's not good. But yeah, I think that's for the courts to decide. Me, on the other hand, I will continue to enjoy Alex Jones's presence whenever I see him, whenever I have the privilege to be near him, and the force of energy and nature that he is. Very interesting human, very unique and very strong, and he is authentically himself. He talks a lot, but he talks a lot because that's what he actually feels and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think like I think Alex Jones is like a very talented person in terms of entertainment, and unfortunately, we have a very toxic society that isn't utilizing him correctly. Um, but I think pure entertainment value, it's gonna be hard to top him. But yeah, what else is going on in the news? Um, news. Statement by President Biden on the sentencing of wrongfully. Oh, apparently Brittany Griner was sentenced to 9 years in prison for having weed on her, which is just like a political thing. The Russians are like, let's fuck with this American because we have her and they're sanctioning us. So I think that's wrong. I wish I had funny takes on this stuff. I'm just saying basic things, really. I'm just saying like what I feel, and I feel like Brittany Griner should not be in jail. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, people are saying that she deserves it, whatever, fuck her, but I mean, we should try to help her if we can. I mean, we can help everyone. We can help people wrongfully imprisoned in America and people wrongfully imprisoned in Russia. Like, we can do both. It doesn't have to be one or the other. And it definitely doesn't have to be neither. We should be trying to do both, definitely, instead of neither, which is what happens. They're like, why aren't you fixing this instead of fixing that? And then when you try to fix that, then they're like, why are you fixing that instead of fixing this? And so nothing ever gets fixed. But you don't have to be doing the most good. Like if you donate to a charity for blind uh, midgets that have four toes, like that's still a good thing. You don't have to donate your money in the most efficient way possible. Just the fact that you're doing good is good, that you're pushing the needle in the correct direction. So I think we should be more into helping wherever the issue and whatever happens to interest you, help in that way. If you're interested in, you know, little little women who want to get bigger. Like that's you can help with that if that's something that you are interested in. I heard that there were empty cartridges and just had minute traces of THC. Riley, what do you think about Brittany Griner?
I told you what I thought.
You want to keep her in jail and make her speak Russian?
I mean, I don't think we should trade who we're planning on trading for.
Brittany Griner?
The person that we want to give up to get her out of jail. I'm not sure if it's worth it. I mean, she broke the law. She's lived there before. She knows what the laws are.
So you're like Floridian about this. You're like the law's the law. You're like Polk County Sheriff about this.
I just don't think we should be trading, like, whatever I don't remember what he did. It wasn't good.
He was a weapons dealer. He sold
Yeah.
weapons to Nigeria and they used it to shoot down a plane.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
For a girl who looks like she can hold her own in prison.
just because you can hold your own in prison doesn't mean it's going to be a pleasant experience.
I'm sure it's not going to be a pleasant experience. I don't know a lot about Russian prisons, but I'm sure they're not fun.
Yeah, they're not known for their activities and recreational time, Russian prisons.
Yeah, I mean, she fucked up.
I mean, don't you think that we should give her a second chance?
How many like U.S. citizens do you think are in Russian prisons? Like, there's got to be a lot more than just her. But we're only fighting to get her out because she's famous.
Because
That's
we noticed her.
yeah, it's a little messed up.
So we shouldn't notice if when things like that happen. We should be like, oh, we're just gonna treat you as shitty as we treat everyone else.
She's all the U.S. citizens that are in prison for dumb reasons overseas.
I think they were trying to trade Brittany Griner and some spy for this weapons dealer. So it's bringing attention to this other guy, you know, she's using her fame to like let people know about this other American that was in jail in Russia. So isn't that helpful?
I guess so.
Well, you know, all know how you feel about Brittany Griner. You know, I I hope that you never go to Russia, because then it's gonna be hard to get you out after seeing this.
Probably.
I mean, if you were in prison in Russia, I'd be like, it was CBD, it was Delta 8. I'd be trying to argue for you.
Same. I don't know if you could get me out, but thanks for trying.
Yeah, I could pretend I'm North Korean. Russians and North Koreans like each other.
Oh, okay. Because they're both trying to nuke the world.
Yeah, we're both the axis of evil. I'm South Korean though. I'm good Korean now. You don't want to see my North Korean side. I'm a lot skinnier and sadder. I don't think they had the farm bill in Russia. I don't know what that means. Uh, I'd grind her on you if you were here, girl. Bigfoot Phil says that he would grind her on you. How does that make you? Yeah,
He doesn't know what I look like, does he?
no.
Okay. And that's weird.
Bigfoot Phil is he's gonna grind her on anything he can. He's a hideous oaf of a ape. He he'll take whatever he can get.
Oh,
You know, Breonna Taylor is in the news. I mean, she's dead, but the people that murdered her are on the news. God, this is a sad show, isn't it? This is the news. This is if the world is sad, what am I supposed to do? Live in a fake world? Maybe I should look up happy news. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, that's your guy. No. Suspends state attorney Andrew Warren. He suspended an attorney, Tallahassee Democrat, accused of being woke, not enforcing laws. Oh my God. I bet he just suspended him for not being mean enough to poor people slash black people. So it's like a persecution of politics. It's like even though he was democratically elected, they're like, we're gonna fight and try to keep democracy down.
Just think of Ron DeSantis.
Hey, what do you guys think of Ron DeSantis? What if they would keep her till we forget so they have her on their Russian basketball team? Yeah, what do you think about that? You think that maybe they're trying to bolster their lineup and they're just keeping her and they're gonna use her to coach the women's basketball team?
Can she play basketball when she's in prison?
I think that's all she can do.
Mm.
They usually have hoops and basketball in jail. That's from what I see on TV, but yeah, it's gonna be hard to dribble in the snow. Good luck in Siberia, Brittany Griner. Florida's a weird state, right? Because it's like there's there's like it's pretty like it almost went to Biden. Did it go to Biden the last election? They're like weirdly not southern. They're like southern but not really southern.
Who?
The Florida politics.
Oh.
I mean, this whole thing about like attorney generals being too woke and not arresting enough people, I think is just addressing the symptoms and not the cause. If you want to reduce crime, then you got to address poverty. Poverty leads to crime. And to just be like, you're not arresting enough people and you're not torturing enough poor people, I think is a horrible, inhumane solution. If people are starving and in shitty living situations, they're gonna steal because that's the only way out of their situation. The proper channels of working and playing by the rules is not working for them. So until you address poverty, I think just being mean and having draconian criminal laws is not a humane solution. It won't even fix the problem. It'll only be a band-aid. I think the real root cause is poverty. If there's less poor people scrounging around and being desperate and gross, then there's gonna be less crime. But my friend is dead. Oh my God. What can I do? The operator says, calm down. I can help. First, let's make sure. Oh, it's a joke. Let's make sure he's dead. And then he hears a bang. And he's like, okay, now what? It's like, I Googled it, like, what is the funniest joke? The joke that works across all cultures. And that's one of the jokes that was in there when I was in like 12 years ago when I was your age, Riley. Yeah. When I was a wee little pup like you.
I think about you dating a girl or talking to a girl 10 years younger than you.
Well, you're 11 years younger than me. What do you guys think about me dating Riley, who's 11 years younger than me? One guy says, hell yeah, brother. Get that. No, that's just me. I said that. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that I like it, but not because of your age. I think that's just how old you happen to be, and then you happen to be
Young.
amazing and gorgeous. And we get along very well, I'd like to think, even over FT.
Hell yeah.
Episode hasn't come out yet, so they don't even know about the FT Chronicles. It comes out in 2 weeks. Forever a Ride says she's lucky to have that experienced Asian meat. What do you think about that General Tso's chicken?
Huh?
What do you think about General Tso's chicken? That's what I call my
Sure.
penis.
Oh, very well done.
Oh,
Knows what it's doing down there.
it's not too tough, is it?
No, sometimes it might be a little too big, but I mean,
Oh, shit. Thank
got
you for putting that on the internet. I'm very proud to break stereotypes. I also am very bad at math.
that's a lie. He graduated college.
That's true. I have graduated 10 years ago.
Tell them what you graduated in.
Mechanical engineering and eating pussy. I mean, it happened so long ago, it doesn't even feel like me. I mean, is college really that formative of an experience? Maybe for people that are attractive and cool and party animals. But for me, I was just studying and, being a good student and not going to bars with pools in it. I've been trying to lose weight. I've been buying lighters and yet to see my result. They say smoking helps you lose weight. I don't know. Teeth weighed so much. I don't know what the fuck kind of joke he's trying to say. I've been buying lighters. I've been doing this little bit nowadays where if somebody steals a lighter, I'll be like to the guy that got stolen, I'll be like, "You're a lighter." Isn't that super clever? Anyways, can you weld something? No. Did you sell your van? I want it. I'm almost certain it has superpowers. Well, I built that motherfucker from bare bones to what it is now. I replaced all the electrical components. I put solar panels on that puppy. I have a TV in it if I want to hook it up. I have a heater, I have a fan, I have a sink in it, I have a bed. It is my creation. And I loved being able to create something that I could live in. Because then everything is where I want it, and I can fix anything I need, which I'm not a good craftsman, so there was a lot of fixing that needed to be done. But it was just customizable and it felt good to be in something that I made. Like so many of the things and places that I'm in, I have no connection to. Like this room that I'm currently residing in, like I don't know who made it. I don't know how it was made. I just sort of plot myself down in it. But like in the van, I know what's behind every wall. I know uh I know what to do if things break. Like if something breaks here, I have to call a man, a real man, to fix it. But in my van, I am the man. There is no man besides me that knows how to fix it because I probably did everything incorrectly. So I did everything the wrong way, so no one's gonna be able to know how to fix it. But yeah, that van is an extension of me in some way. I'm like Iron Man, except my suit is very big and not that cool. It's just good for sleeping in. Um, it doesn't shoot anything. It's just good for, it's like a sauna now. Do you ever like go in your car and use it as a sauna? Or is there no point because it's so hot outside that it's like it doesn't matter? I think that's cool that we all have a sauna now. Does your girlfriend have nice skin? He says the type that you would wear. Yeah, these people are crazy. I don't know why I read that out loud. Um, you probably got a good payday on the way out. I had an 89 Corvette I bought for 3,500. I cut the roof and exhaust off and got the 3,500 on the way out. Car maker went way up since you got it. Market went way up. I haven't sold it yet. I still have it. It's sitting in my driveway. I also have a rental, but it's my daily driver. I drive that shit everywhere. I just got it back. I got it fixed. I've spent $7,000 fixing this puppy, which is almost as much as I bought it for, I think, which is crazy. But yeah, now it's all fixed up. It's ready to go. I want to take it camping, but right now it's too hot. So I'm just sitting in my air-conditioned home waiting for the weather to cool down so that I can take that puppy out on the road. I could go up north, but I have to drive pretty far to get to somewhere habitable. And also I'm super busy. Uh, and I would rather just wait until like December or November when the weather is perfect in Texas, and then I can just drive 30 minutes. But the thing about Texas is there's no public land in Texas. So it makes it really difficult to camp. It makes it really difficult to camp in Texas unless you have money, which I do. Now I do. I can brag about it because I used to be so poor and I was very open with my poorness. It didn't define me, and now my wealth doesn't define me either. So either way it boils down, it does not define me. So, I was making fun of how poor I was when I was poor, and now that I have entered into lower middle class, I can brag about that. I'm so rich that I might just have a baby for fun, just so I can spend some money. Riley still has her whole life to live. She doesn't want to be tied down by some nagging little parasite. Yes, I was teased by Hans and Franz skit on the SNL growing up. Hey, Hans, question. Who wins, Predator versus Tyrant from Resident Evil? Well, the thing about the SNL quips and the Hans from Hans Landa from Inglourious Basterds and Hans from Die Hard, it's just a reference. They're like, hey, remember this? It's just like a callback to something that happened before. There's nothing more to it. It's hard to add more to an SNL sketch because it's already funny. Like it's hard to make something funny that's already funny. Um, but yeah, I've been called many names because of my weird Germanic name. It's not a common name for an Asian to have, so it's obviously going to be eye-catching and weird. Hans, have you ever been to Europe? Have you ever thought of hitting up comedy festivals? Kilkenny in Ireland and Edinburgh Fringe in Scotland is awesome. They would love you. Yeah, I would love to go to England and Europe. It's just a bit of a hike. It's a bit of a far plane trip. And life is pretty good in America. I would love to, go for the festivals and just explore and travel and broaden my horizons. It's just like the number of Joe Rogans in England is very low. And in Austin, it has the perfect number of Joe Rogans and Tony Hinchcliffes. So I'd rather just stay here. But it's really hard for me to schedule anything because my schedule really revolves around the bigger names and my comedy mentors that I'm currently studying under. So I have to be there for them. And right now I'm in an apprenticeship, and I am an apprentice for one of the best mentors in the world right now. And it's not an opportunity that I want to give up. A lot of people would pay a lot of money to spend time and have that quality time with my mentors that I'm getting paid for. And I want to respect and honor that time and this relationship that I have by being a little bitch and changing my whole life for them. which is great because my life before wasn't that great to begin with, so it's very easy to change for them. But yeah, I don't, I'm Asian, so I don't have this like, I gotta be my own man and I gotta be doing everything on my own. I'm like Asian, so I'm like, oh yeah, there's elders and you gotta respect your elders. And I just, try to be an Asian, and be a very respectful Asian, and hierarchy and respecting my elders so that I can one day, uh, you know, be as great as them, hopefully, and learn from them and just improve as a person. And, like the concept of an individual is an illusion. It's a very helpful illusion, but it's also, uh, you know, I shouldn't, I don't want it to tie me down so that I'm not learning from the best and interacting with amazing people that I can improve from, and making my individual self better by suppressing my individuality for a quick second while I improve upon my personality by learning from others and inhabiting their mindset and their way of being. I hope that makes sense. If when you get the opportunity to go on Rogan, you should mention aliens and fun, obscure topics. Your intellectual personality would be very fun to listen to on stuff like that. I don't really talk about aliens that much. It's sort of like a create. I know. I'm talking in front of alien homes, the home of aliens, talking about how I don't believe in them. It's kind of sacrilegious. I'm being really rude to aliens right now. Um, What did you think about Uncle Laser? I thought he was amazing. I thought he was funny. He's a great character. He's a great personality. Do you know who Uncle Laser is, Riley? Riley isn't a Kill Tony head. I'm trying to convert her. I thought he was great. He is obviously jealousy inducing, in the best possible way because he's so natural and it comes so easily to him. But yeah, I think he's an amazing person, a great personality. And I hope that he continues, and I hope to meet him again or see him again. And I hope he grows, and I hope we can foster him and be nice to him, and just make sure that I mean, he's like already he's like a man. So I don't know how much I could foster him. But I think he's like a big personality. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing? You know what they say when you're in prison, you gotta have two knuckles in your butt and one knuckle and some Snickers." And he just like talks in phrases and sayings and shit. But yeah, he's a very quick thinker, and his phrases actually make sense and are appropriate for the question that was asked. Sup, Hans? Hope you don't forget the monkeypox. Hope you don't get the monkeypox from kissing all the those red rose and yellow girls. Rose girls. Best of luck, man. Well, I've stopped kissing strippers. That was old news. But yeah. So far, I'm good. Huh? Riley is not a stripper. She is an FSU graduate, which doesn't necessarily. Yeah, if you $1,500. If you pay Riley $1,500, she will become a stripper. But she hasn't yet. So technically not a stripper, just a beautiful young lady in Florida who works at a comedy club, which she calls comedy club because it's the only one in Naples. Hey, I'm Uncle Laser, and I fucking love my mullet. You guys ever see a dead possum on the side of the road? That's what I call a fucking. Oh, God. I can't do it. I can only be myself. Alcoholism certificates at FSU. Did she go to class or the beach more? Tallahassee's kind of far from the beach. I learned this from Riley. I know, but when you went to FSU, she's an alcoholic. If you're in college, that's just called being a, a party animal. That's just called being a good hang. If you don't drink in college, that's called being a party pooper. Yes, Vorak, if you would like to brand slash edit, you can please look at my YouTube and clip anything you want. Yes, Vorak, please clip stuff. I usually pay $10 for clip, so it's not nothing. I've been watching Kill Tony, a little no joke, last 4 days straight. That's what I used to do, especially during the pandemic when there was no social interactions. It was my only, I was like watching people talk to each other. Like one day I'll be out of this van and I'll talk to a person just like Tony does, and Joel Jimenez, and Jeremiah Watkins, and David Lucas, and William Montgomery. And now I know all of them except for Joelberg. So it's crazy. It's just uh crazy that I got to be on the show that I used to watch and that I was a huge fan of. Hans, when you come to Tacoma in December, I'll take you crabbing and fishing. You have time, if you have time. Yeah, I love to eat. I ate some seafood yesterday. Um, I just didn't know that it was that big in Seattle. But Seattle was a home to the only they were like sedentary. They only stayed in one spot in Seattle. The Native Americans in Seattle stayed in one spot and just like ate fish all day because there was so much food there. So it's like a very bountiful place to live. Thank you, Vorak. Vorak is gonna Vorak is gonna edit clips for me. So, what else is going on? As monkeypox spreads, U.S. plans to declare a health emergency. It's just like the coronavirus pandemic that we went through, everyone just got angry and everyone was just like, I'm not doing shit. And so I don't know if we're going to be prepared for the next pandemic. I don't think that we have the right mindset. Like if another pandemic hits, they're going to be like, oh, we've been through this before. We don't have to do anything. Fuck you. And then we're just going to let it spread. Like, if a pandemic hits right now, that would be the perfect time for the pandemic. Thinking as a virus, this would be the perfect time because everyone's guard is down, everyone's exhausted, no one has any stamina, no one can stay out of Applebee's for more than 3 weeks. And if a pandemic hit right now, it would spread like wildfire because no one would do anything to stop it. But hopefully, it doesn't happen. Um, and that's the best we can do. The survival of our species relies upon a virus not popping up. We have no defenses if it does pop up. Uh, we just have to hope it doesn't because our interest in consumerism and shopping trumps our need to survive as a species. I mean, I just feel like you can do whatever you want. You just can't go into society however you want. Society has some requirements before you enter it. You can still live out in the woods. You don't have to wear a mask in the woods. You can like chop wood all day, hunt bear, and like fart up a storm. But if you want to enter society, you got to make sure that you're not hurting society. And I think that's a very reasonable requirement. But if everyone in a society is like, we're all gonna not give a fuck about diseases, then you can enter that society because they don't care. It's just like not a very sustainable way to have a society if you're just gonna ignore diseases. But I'm Asian. I love the government. I love overarching control and hive minds. And I want the government to tell me what to do and how I should be as a person. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want the government to do that. I just think that planning is very useful, and and I think you know, like people. working together is better than everyone working on their own. It's more efficient to have everyone pitch in and make a swimming pool than everyone have their own individual swimming pool that they use once every week. But yeah, I don't think working together has to be this horrible thing. I don't think it has to mean that you're pathetic or whatever. I think working together is beautiful and the future of humanity and how we got to where we are. We didn't get here by fighting with each other, although we did fight with each other a lot. Anyways, how should Austin address homelessness? The city wants your input. Um, how about the best way to address homelessness is to give them homes? That way you'll eradicate homelessness. People will be like, you gotta have mental health, you gotta have drug addiction counseling. Just give them homes and let them figure it out. But you think people need to be babysat? You need to hold their hands and teach them how not to be a fuck up? They're a fuck up because they don't have enough money. If they have enough money, they would be just like you and me, maybe a little more eccentric. But yeah, I don't think that we should baby people. I think that if we give them homes and a decent society and a decent life, that people will generally be good. I mean, we treat people shitty now, and people are still generally good. So imagine how much better people will be if we give them basic human rights and guarantee their safety. Anyways, what's some news that Riley would be into? Let's look up TMZ news. Machine Gun Kelly tour bus vandalized with homophobic slur. Riley, our senior TMZ correspondent, what do you think about Machine Gun Kelly tour bus vandalized with homophobic slur?
What?
Is this homophobic? This isn't homophobic. It's just a picture of a penis with cum coming out of it or pee coming out of it. I don't think that's homophobic. Oh, they wrote faggot on it. That's homophobic. Rap devil. That actually sounds like a compliment. They call them a rap devil. Is this like some sort of Christian thing where they're like, you're spreading demonic music, you're corrupting the youths? But yeah, I mean the conservative, whatever's like the old people, they just don't understand art and their whole personality is developed to be against change or like I'm just gonna do the right thing and gonna do everything the right way. And then when they see someone doing like the complete opposite of that, not living in the suburbs and having a nice quiet life, they're like, how come he gets to do that and I had to do this? And they want everyone to do what they're doing because then they won't be the only ones not having fun. So they just want people to not have fun basically. That's my opinion. So they draw dicks on things. Like if they are like a Christian type of like old people type of thing, like the fact that they drew a dick is pretty badass for them. But yeah, I mean, I think artists are misunderstood. Huh?
On on his job resume under gender, you can decline to answer.
Yeah, with your name, you could be considered a man. That might help you out.
You think it's so funny.
I'm just thinking about your job prospects.
Mm-hmm. I applied for 3 jobs today. I am done.
Good job, Riley. We're all proud of you. All the Kim cells and Hans heads. Um, what do you think about the exploitative nature of job applications? Don't you think that a lot of it is useless busy work that they want you to do to prove your loyalty?
Well, I want to do the busy work because that's all I'm qualified for right now.
Don't say that. You're a beautiful human with creativity and Something else.
It's school before I can be able to do that stuff. I ran out of nicotine and I don't have a car to go get one.
Riley accidentally crashed her car because she's a woman.
No, she didn't.
Oh, you don't want that out there?
No, not with everything still open.
Well, it wasn't her fault. It was actually someone else's fault. But yeah, I just feel like the whole job application process is like it takes forever to apply for jobs, and you have to do that full time, not getting paid for it, and it's like unnecessary. Like if you really want to know about someone, you should interview them. You shouldn't just like make them fill out the same information. What's your address? What's your phone? And why do people ask for your address? Like they think that's okay. Like you don't need to know where I sleep. Please don't ask for that. I can't believe how many people I've told my address to. This is why I used to live in a van. When I lived in a van, it felt so great because no one knew where I was sleeping. I didn't even know where I would be sleeping that night. But now I live in a house. Everyone knows where I sleep now. My fucking mechanic knows. The goddamn comedy club asked for my address. Everyone needs to know where I sleep. Like they need to be able to come in, bust through my doors, and shoot me in the head if they gave me like $200. They're like, now I get to know your address.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Not how do I?
Is that not how they do it at FSU? I was making fun of you for going to FSU. Oh, his song is called Rap Devil. Why did they vandalize? Do you think this vandalization was actually like a compliment?
No. I don't.
Okay, this has been popping up on the normal news and on TMZ News. Four cops charged in connection to raid that killed Breonna Taylor. Isn't that crazy?
Hey, Josh. How'd it go?
I think she's talking to her dog. Malia Obama out with the mystery man. Good for her. She is a young woman whose dad is a great president or was. And now she's out with a man. Everyone deserves love, and Malia Obama is now loving someone who wears the same color pants as she does. Are they touching? Oh, he's touching her back. They're walking arm in arm. They definitely fucking. Justin Bieber offers to help bring Brittany Griner back to US. If I was in prison in Russia and they were like, "Don't worry, Justin Bieber is on the case," I'd be like, "Oh fuck, let me get comfortable. Let me start making friends." I mean, what can Justin Bieber do? He's Canadian. He has even less power than Americans do. He can't even nuke Russia if he wanted to. Pilot who died during emergency may have fallen looking at landing gear. That's horrible.
Who?
Pilot who died during emergency may have fallen looking at landing gear. Maybe he was like on the plane trying to look at the landing gear and he fell. You want to look through my Instagram? There's William Montgomery with this. Oh shit. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt subdues serial attacker in New York. Oh my God. I love these videos. Jiu-Jitsu in action. And they're just laying on top of some dude in public and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" And they're like, "I'm doing good. I'm a hero." This guy's got his calf right in his crotch. That's sexually humiliating. But jujitsu is like the most embarrassing way to lose to someone because, I mean, I guess getting knocked out is pretty embarrassing too. But with jujitsu, you can make them into a little pretzel and you can like make them into whatever shape you want. So it's pretty embarrassing. And you can make smush their face into the pavement or whatever you want. Like a lot of these cops don't really know how to do grappling that well. And I saw a video where they were trying to subdue someone and they were just like laying on their legs, which is a bad place to do that apparently. Apparently you're supposed to lay on their hips because Riley's bored. Really hates me. And yeah, whenever someone gets like subdued in public, everyone comes out and everyone's like trying to control the situation or contribute or something. Chinese forces fired multiple ballistic missiles into water bodies around Taiwan. What a bunch of assholes. They're just like threatening their lives. Look, I can kill you if I want to. But yeah, Nancy Pelosi recently went to the land of Taiwan for no reason. She was like, let's just go here now. So yeah, I mean, was there something important there that she forgot? Maybe she had to pick up some dumplings. Why the fuck did you go there? Now China's freaking out. Just let them figure their shit out on their own. Stop meddling. I'm sure Chiang Kai-shek was funded by America and foreign forces were trying to get him to be in charge of America as a puppet government. So, I mean, I don't like China, but I don't like imperialism. I think it's better that there's that they control themselves than if American forces are in there just fucking with shit. But, you know, I think that right now it seems like the people of Taiwan don't want to be a part of China, so you should just let them do that, China. But obviously, they're not really interested in what people want. So if more people in China want Taiwan to be a part of China, then Taiwanese people want Taiwan to be a part of Taiwan and not China, then should you invade Taiwan? No, you shouldn't because it doesn't matter what the people in China think. It matters what people in Taiwan think. But anyways, Nancy Pelosi went to Taiwan. It's like, unless the Taiwanese really wanted her there, then you shouldn't go to Taiwan because it just starts too much shit. And it's like a statement like Taiwan should be able to get whoever they want to visit them. But it's like, sorry, Taiwan, you don't get to hang out with Nancy Pelosi. I know that's like a huge bummer. She probably knows how to party and she's probably really fun at buffets or whatever. She's probably really good at bingo. But it's just one of the things that you have to do without. Life is hard. And you are gonna have to do without Nancy Pelosi. I know it's gonna be difficult, but you're gonna have to find a way to survive just independently without Nancy Pelosi helping you out. What do you think about Nancy Pelosi going to Taiwan?
What time do you have to get on the plane?
2:45? Yeah, I should get going. Well, considering that I was on the stream earlier and that pooped out, I have done almost an hour. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and have a good night. And please, please don't say hurtful things to me.